and there were so many people that we've never met before. There must have been a lot of new people that have bought properties here in the condominiums. There's two units, or renting them, but the turnover has been big because we've never met these people. And we go and sit at a table where there's nobody because we don't really know anybody, right? So anyways, long story short is we ended up meeting, interestingly, the guy who sat down with us, Canadian from Toronto. Isn't that something? And he's married to a lady who's from Tampa, and they're real estate agents, and they're so interested. So yeah, it turned out to be a great evening, and I'm really glad we went. So that message is, when you don't feel like it, do it. That's a great message for everybody because it's easy not to do. So we're going to go into tonight's training, planning and execution. And if you want to have a successful year, it's critical that you know exactly where you're going at the beginning, especially now we're going through this 90-day social media run. And we need to be organized in doing this. So if you're on Facebook Live or in the Zoom session, just give me a thumbs up if you're going to be part of the 90-day social media run. How many of you are going to be part of it? Great. Awesome. We're going to have a great time doing this. You're going to get the session 2 days after. Chris can share that with you after the session this evening. And so we really need to be organized in our scheduling. So make sure that you have a schedule in front of you. And for those of you who are not virtual when it comes to calendaring, it's time to move to the virtual calendar. It is so much easier. I am the hardest person to move over to technology, but now that I use it, it's a whole lot easier. I've been using it for years, but it's so much easier to work with a virtual calendar. So make that a priority to set up on some platform that's going to work for you, whether it's a Google Calendar or we use iCal. Whatever it is that you're going to use, it's important to have that set up. So saying that, let's move forward. Chris, am I in control or you're in control? So first things first, don't compare yourself to others. We all build this business with different schedules. We all have different priorities. And I know that some people feel bad because they've got, they work full-time jobs. They have family members that they need to take care of, or I know some have recently moved their parents into homes and they're, going back and forth. There's things in life that takes time. So never compare yourself to somebody who's full-time doing this 100% head on. Let's go. Because when you do that, you tend to step back. So that's the first message that I wanted to deliver with everybody today. This is your game. Okay. This is your time. This is your game. And you choose the hours that you want to put in your business. Our goal is to make sure that you create a lot of work in less time, being more productive, being smart in your building efforts and your scheduling. And it's okay to be inspired by other people's results. Ask people what they're up to. Don't be afraid to connect with each other. If you see somebody getting some great results, ask them how they're doing it when you're having struggles, and always feel free to reach out to Chris and I as well, because I have to tell you, I took some time through the holidays to create my foundation, and I'm going to show you after the presentation, but it took time to do this. So I highly recommend to spend time to do this because you'll be happy in the end result. And of course, the goal is always to develop new skills to build your action plan. If we want to evolve in 2023, we want better results in 2023. Anybody want some financial freedom in 2023? free up some time to do what you love, well, that's the goal. And to do that, we always need to evolve in our skills. And I know Chris and I, you guys know us very well. Those of you who are on Facebook Live, I can't see you. I'm sure Chris is seeing that, but many people know that Chris and I, every single year, we invest in ourselves. We've been doing it for 25 years, Chris.
At least.
At least, you know, when we were new in our profession, we would buy cassette video CDs, and we buy programs because we couldn't afford to go live everywhere we wanted. But then there was times, Chris, where we spent a lot of money flying to go to major events, staying in hotels, you know, eating meals, and the cost of all of that is a lot when you consider, you know, you can take a course for a year and have a lot while you're working at home. So always consider investing in yourself, because you'll never get the same with the secondhand information. So yeah, that's all I can say. And those of you who are on the accelerator, you're gonna understand, you're gonna know this, and by being part of it, or those who were a part of it in the past. So let's go ahead, Chris. Okay, so we're going to be talking about time. You cannot manage time, but you can master your time. And this is something that we personally are going to be working hard at this year, is mastering our social media time. It's something that we haven't mastered yet. And we know that in order for us to get to another level, we need to focus on the things that we need to do and master it. So that's one of Chris and my personal goal this year. And, you know, would you rather have $10,000 in cash or get back 1 hour a day in your life? It's, you know, there's no right or wrong answer. Some people may want the 10,000 cash but it's the hours that are really, really important. Once you understand how to work smarter and doing the right productive activities. And time is a construct of the mind. So we choose how we want to create our time and what we want to do with our time. So we're going to work a lot on this in this session. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up, Chris. So when we think of time management, we all know this, being more productive with our time, right? Focus on our priorities is a big thing. And of course, address what we need to be corrected, because often we start writing out things on the schedule and it's not going the way we want, and we need to make some corrections. Maybe, you know, sometimes if you're like me, you just want to put everything on in one day and realize that it's just not possible, right? So you want to make sure that you have enough time to get the activity done, and at the same time, you want to have some me time in between. So habit management is also what we think of when it comes to time management. How do we control our habits?
I just want to touch on habit management, because
folks, absolutely.
This, you know, when you start to untangle your life, you know, think of all these cables and you're all tangled together and you're trying to, you know, I mean, the habits, it's something that's all entangled in your life. And sometimes you don't even think about it. And folks, this is where you may have the most wasted time that you are maybe not aware of. So I really, really recommend that you take the time and untangle and identify those habits, those things that you do. They're literally stealing your time. This is very important. Identify them and then start prioritizing. Is this important or not? Because sometimes we tend to be people pleasers. And we tend to do a lot of things for a lot of folks. They don't know what your schedule is, but they're used to you doing things. I'm just giving you a quick one example. So be very mindful of the habit that you have. Manage those habits. They are critical. It could save you a lot of time, so you could become a lot more productive in reaching the goals that you want to reach. Back to you, Tammy.
Absolutely. And we're going to go through an exercise for that as well for the whole session that I'm sharing here on this slide. So time management plus time awareness, which we're going to go into. Energy management. I learned this in December. It blew my mind on this particular exercise. And I want to go through with you today so you can also benefit from that. Of course, priority commitment. So we can go ahead to the next slide.
And I just want to acknowledge all of you on Facebook Live. We also welcome your feedback and comment. I am monitoring. If you're posting a questions or comment here, I will be following up and also addressing them. So welcome, Sandra and Flores. Thank you. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, so time awareness is all the activities that you need to do. When does this need to be done? So we're going to do the exercises after, but you can screenshot this or write it down, because as you sit alone and you start working on your schedule, you want to keep in mind all of these things. So how much time does it take to do that activity? Whether it's prospecting or inviting or whatever it is, creating content, whatever it is that needs to be done. And then where in the environment that impacts action. And of course, your action will dictate your time. So for example, it's very, very important to be in an environment that you're going to have focus. Sitting in the kitchen and people walking in and out, you're not going to get the work done that you need to get that done, the focus work, the actions that you need to get done. So make sure that you have an environment that you can have a closed door and you follow through with your time commitment on that specific task that you need to do. And you'll notice that you'll get some very fast results. So, and then who is going to do it? Well, you need to make that decision. Not everybody is going to do the actions. The goal is to work towards it. I know that we're all coming out of a holiday, and I know that today was tough. It was a tough day to get back into routine. And, congratulations, Bill and Linda, for showing up for the 7 a.m. on the day after New Year's to make that decision to be part of the accountability that early in the morning. And it's not easy. And so the focus is who's going to do it. So make that commitment and do it now. Make that decision right now that you're going to follow through. You're going to create a kick-ass calendar that's going to move you towards all of your goals that you want to achieve in the next 90 days, in the next 6 months from now, the next year from now, and to really strategically plan it out. Because I've literally planned it out, because we've got a lot on our plate, including two big courses and our money-making activities and all the things we need to do. So be aware of your time. So the next slide, Chris.
Actually, just before we continue, I just want to have an opportunity to share here. One thing that you may have to do, this is what we're doing here, January, February, and March. This is 90 days. Those of you that are really focused within the next 90 days, I'm telling you, you will be ahead of everyone. And this is very, very important. And you may have to negotiate with your family members. Make them understand that mommy or daddy or whoever it is that you're talking to, addressing yourself to, that you are explaining the goal, what you're trying to achieve, what you want out of life, what you want out of this, and make it a reward for the entire family. Negotiate with them. But for that, in exchange, you need the time to do some of the activities that are going to be shared with you. And this is very important. Tammy and I are taking this to a whole new level this year, and we're very serious for the next 90 days. And those of you that wants to come along, you're very welcome, but it will not be easy. There will be some trying times sometimes. So this is just food for thought I wanted to share. Back to you, Tammy.
No, I'm glad you really shared that, Chris, because we talked to our families through the holidays, and we shared with them the courses that we invested in and things that we wanted to do. And of course, we know all their goals and what they want to achieve. And we just shared with them that, 90 days in, we're very focused. And of course, we're going to talk to our family, but they understand that we have a goal and we want to hit our target. And there's always celebration, always. And so, yeah, you always have that fun thing that you're going to do when you have, people who give up, their time with you to be able to, for you to be able to reach your goals. Okay, energy management. That's another one that I'm going to really hone in on, because I learned a lot about myself when I did this session. So physical, how you feel in your body in certain times of the day when you're doing certain activities. And we'll go through that, how you feel. Of course, mental. When are you the most mentally focused, that you give your most output in your day? You're going to learn a lot about yourself by doing this stuff. And then your emotional, how your emotions affect your actions and your decisions. When are you the most emotional? For people who are high emotional people, when are you the most emotional, and around what category are you most emotional? Because we are in control. And of course, the focus and concentration, the ability to sustain deep attention to the task at hand. And that is to be in that environment where you're so focused, nothing's going to throw you off. And I can tell you, as a woman, it's not easy. There's always stuff to do around the house. There's always things to do. And it's just easy to walk out that door and pop in a load of laundry and stuff like that. I had to, over the years, I had to control myself, because I took lots of courses over the years on what I need to focus on, what I need to delegate. And I have a specific day that I don't do max, and I get all of this stuff done. And I try to get up super early and get these things done so that I can also enjoy part of my day. So everything is about scheduling. If you want to have a successful business, you have to be in control of that. If you're, don't want to do the big stuff, and you can create whatever you want in your schedule, and, you'll have a whole lot more flexibility. So you have to make that decision how serious you are. But all of this is within your control. Okay, so we're going to expand on that after in some graphs. You want to do this one, Chris?
Absolutely. When I talk about untangling some of your habits and prioritize, these are the questions that you need to ask yourself as you're listing and doing inventory. I'm telling you, it may seem like going through a root canal if you're like me to do these things, but they are so important, right? What is the priority? What are your priority? What's important to you in your life? And sometimes, and I know often mothers, they forget about themselves, and everybody comes first, and she's last. And I've seen my mom going through this, and obviously our kids have grown up now. Things are a little bit different, but see, the fact is you have to prioritize what are the priorities, right? How is it important? How is this important? So again, list them all and then ask you these questions. What are the other factors, the components, right? Like, in other words, some things may not seem important, but they might be very important on the grand scheme of things, because if you don't do some of those things, well, the other things it's never going to manifest. It's never going to happen. So again, ask yourself, what are the other factors, the components? How important are they? How important is it to you? And something that sometimes we forget, we look at the laundry and the dishes and everything else. I mean, the dishes, they're in the sink right now. Once this training is done, I will do the dishes. But prior to that, we prepare, we organize ourselves. We did all of these things. We did our calls, we did our follow-ups, we did our trainings, we prepare what's coming. And then this is not a priority, but it will get done because we don't want to live in a messy house. So again, you just have to prioritize what's important in the time, right? What is the hierarchy scales of the importance of 1 to 10, right? So you look at all of these things when you start untangling your habits of the things that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the least. Where does it scale? and do an inventory. I'm telling you, by doing this, it may change your life completely, because you will have so much more time to do the things that matters, opposed to wasting your time with 80% of the things that don't matter. So tell me if you want to add anything else, please go ahead.
No, we can go right ahead on the next one because we still have work to do. Okay, so what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. Dwight Eisenhower, 34th President of the United States. We've all seen this graph many times in different formats, but at the end of the day, you need to create this graph here for your personal life, okay? From urgent to not urgent, to not important to important. So write that down, you guys. Make your graph, because this has to be your personal graph, okay? So what are the things that you need to do now? And everything is based on results, to get a result on what you want to achieve. So if your goal is to be a diamond leader at the end of the year, what are all the things that you need to do to become a diamond leader? So what do you need to do if you decided, you know what, this year, just so you know, I'm going to put it out there, this year, I'm going to be turning 60 in June. And my goal is to be at my best shape ever. Have I said it before? Absolutely. Absolutely. This year, I'm committed. I'm taking it to another level. We're going to do the DEXA scan so I can see where we're at in what's going on inside the body. And I switched my routine so that I can get the result that I'm looking for. And we started adding a few different things. So this is on my things I need to do during the day to achieve that specific goal. So in your business, you have to decide what it is that you're gonna do, and just focus on the do's, and just decide to do it, and write down the things that you need to schedule the time to do.
Now, the one thing I'd like to Sorry, Tammy. The one thing I'd like to add to all of this is there's a lot of political stuff going on, guys. This is not going to end. But here's a situation that you need to remember. Is this going to change your life? Whatever's going on with our governments and politically and all the stuff that's happening, all the conspiracy theory and everything, is this going to make an impact in your life? Stop spending so much energy there. It is pointless, it is useless, and it will not affect your paycheck. Focus on what you can control and what you can manage and what you can actually create. That's what you need to focus your time in. And if I may give you a suggestion today, in the session that we have in the accelerator, Eric suggested that we take a picture of ourselves and we post on our actually Facebook profile, not your groups, not your pages, but your Facebook profile. And something like, this year, I'm committed to make 2023 my best professional business year of my career, and post that. You may want to reword it as you see fit. Go back and listen to this recording again. If you happen to be on Facebook's live, the cards are recorded, you know this, and post it. This is a call to action. Post it tonight before you go to bed. Take a picture of yourself or take one of your favorite pictures, post it with that message. Make a statement. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, so that is a do. So yeah, go ahead, Chris, back up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done with this. Sorry.
Yeah, so obviously the bottom portion is where you need to write down the things that you need to delegate. I know there's things that I want to delegate more of, and I'm writing the things down that I can delegate more of, and then what needs to be deleted. What do you need to delegate and delete in 90 days? For those of you who put your hands up for doing this 90 days, what do you need to do in those two categories? You need to write these things down. That's going to help you in your calendaring on what you need to do in your calendaring. Okay, so So if they got a screenshot of that, we can go ahead. And then time blocking 101. I mean, that's a course in itself, but the goal is to schedule it, whatever it is that you plan to do. You want to task it. What is the task requirement for that specific goal that you're putting down? You want to overdraft it, which means you need more time. How many times did you give yourself a certain amount of time and it took another 10, 20 minutes? Because things happen, life gets in the way, things happen sometimes. So you just got to give it that extra layaway time. So you're not under pressure. And you want to follow and continue your schedule. So it's better to overdraft each thing that you say you're going to do. So if you schedule, I don't know, you're going to be on prospecting, you're going to be whole focus on connecting and talking to new people, and you scheduled maybe 2-hour segment to do that. Put 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Okay, so whatever it is, do what you need to do. All of you know where you are in your businesses. We know where we are in our businesses, so we know how much time we need to be doing all of these categories. So if you don't have an organization, or you have an organization, but they're really not doing anything and they're not interested in doing anything, today is day one. So your tasks and scheduling time should be new people, new business. Okay, you got to be spending a lot of time doing that and making new connections. And then the Pomodoro, it is about working smart and getting faster results in less time. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. I know I didn't. I've heard of work smart and less time, but I didn't know where it came from. I'm just going to tell you who it came from. You can check them out. Francesco, so Francisco. Last name is Cirillo. So Cirillo. I'm probably saying it wrong. And check him out. And he actually has a course on all of this stuff too, how to work smart and in a faster amount of time. But you want to be doing that in your own scheduling. And of course, energy map it, which is probably something, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I heard of it for the first time this year. And that it was an aha moment for me, huge. So we'll go to the next slide. So scheduling every minute of your day, every single minute counts. All right. In everything that you put in your day, open blocks become open invitations. Yeah. So that's the message in all of that is if you just put a few things in, you have all this open time, that means I'm telling you, most of it's wasted time. Okay. Most of that stuff can be delegated and deleted. So it's to have control of your life and your scheduling. And if it's planned, it's possible. If it's scheduled, it's solid. And that's it, obviously, if you're committed to your schedule. And estimate times, add 20%. So add 20%, be ready for this to fall apart, because often, I don't know about you, but I'll be sitting there to create content and I have a blank. And then I have to go to a book and I'm trying to figure out, some of the things that I want to say. So yeah, so you want to give yourself time to do that and maybe change the time that you're creating content. I learned that. So reset as necessary. So whatever you put in stone, which I've already figured out what I want to do, I might have adjustments. And it could be within a week. We don't know until I start working my routine to see how this is working. So this is something that you'll do as well. And it's not about being rigid, it's about being thoughtfully adaptable when you're creating your schedule. Okay, so Let's go right into some work. I think that's where we are now in the next one, Chris. So there we go, time blocking. I believe this is a Google sheet, a Google one. We use iCal, and the colors are not as bright. I like this one. So now you want to color code your activities, whatever's personal, family time, anything personal that you're doing for yourself, exercise, your meals. This is all personal time. You want to color code that personal time. You want to color code your income producing activities. I put green because that's where the money is, right? So I put green for my income producing activities. I put blue for my courses, anything that I'm learning in that day, whether I'm taking time to read something new. And so you want to color code your schedule so you can go through that as well. I notice here in this particular block, it says wild card, free block. In other words, you might have something that you didn't quite finish earlier in the week that you might want to go back and work on. I didn't do that, but I just noticed this right now. So it's something that I may consider down the road. But right now I feel like my schedule's on point for the things that I want to do anyways. So make sure that you work about an hour and a half, and then you throw in a 15-minute break, and not with your phone, no phone. That 15-minute break is to get out of the environment that you're working in. If you need to walk around, you need to go outside, get some fresh air, you need to go get, supplements, drink some water, move around a bit, whatever it is, just get out of your environment, no work in your head, just get out. So you can come back with a fresh perspective on what you have to do next. And you might want to set alarms for this. I don't know if you're a person that needs to set alarms, you might want to set a 15-minute alarm and do what you need to do and go back and work. Okay, so the next one is to build your Pomodoro cycle. So time on, time off in your calendar. So your time off will be your free time, your family time, whatever it is that you put in your schedule. 60 to 90 minutes on, which is what I mentioned, 10 minutes off. The other guy was saying 15 to do 15. So 10 minutes is through this gentleman's cycle. On means focused work, 0 distractions. Your phone has to go when you're working, unless you're working on your phone, not scrolling, not doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, but a specific task on your phone. Okay, that's when you have your phone with you. If you're not working on your phone, it goes to the side. Okay, because that's when you're going to control a lot of habits that you may have that'll distract you from doing your business. And then your off means relaxing, resetting, 0 work. And my goal is to do 0 work at night. I don't want to work at night because I realized that my energy is not high at night. But Monday nights, I do go for diamond calls and I do the odd opportunity calls. And so on those times, I may take a little bit more break in that day to rest a bit so that I can be on point at night, because I know where my energy is now. I understand my energy points in my day. So, and we'll go into that next, but these are the things that you want to be doing in controlling your time slots and your schedule. And so we can go ahead with the next one. Yeah, the colors are very, very helpful. I never did colors before, but they really help. So, and to build in that overdraft, remember to build that overdraft in your schedule. So blocks of time each day, you want to put for that overdraft in whatever it is you're doing. And 1 day per week, you want to put some time aside for that overdraft, things that maybe you didn't quite get finished, you wanted to do, work on that. 1 weekend per month, sit down and take some time to do this stuff. And 1 week per year, you might want to take a vacation, take a break, and get out of your head, but take some time to plan. You need to take that time to plan. If you don't plan this, you're going to go through 2023 and it goes fast. Will you agree that the years are going fast? They're going way too fast, way too fast. And then you look at the end of the year and go, oh my gosh, I could have been so much more productive. Have you ever said that to yourself? I mean, these are things that we need to do if we want to have a successful year, a productive year. And when you're more structured in your scheduling, you'll have a lot more time freedom. And what's worked for me, as I was sharing with Bill and Linda this morning, is before I only started at 10 a.m. That was my thing. Everything was me time. I start my business at 10 a.m. And I didn't even know about this energy thing until after I did the exercise, and only to find out that I'm productive early morning. So I need to switch some things around so I can be more relaxed at night. So everybody has their own schedule. Some of you have full-time jobs, so you're going to have to figure out this. Is morning good for you? Is night good for you to build your business? Or stuff in between, like your lunch hours and stuff, if you have the freedom to do that. Okay, so this is the color coding contingency time. So you can color code whatever it is if you want to screenshot this to have ideas. Your go time, which is I wrote down income producing activities, is my go time, my green. And yellow is my break time. Or I do less on that time. I'll do something like, just go through my emails, stuff like that. When my energy is low, these are when I do stuff like this. So listen to your body when you're doing stuff, because you want to be productive. So if you're just sitting in your office all day long and you're not getting the output that you're looking for, then you need to think about the time that you're spending in the office. And so these are all the things you want to look at. Red is low energy. When is your lowest energy time? And as I said to you, for me, it's at night. I'm picking up some energy speed now because I'm in the middle of the presentation, but normally, 8, 9, I start to fade away a lot. And sometimes Chris will go, Tammy, we got to finish this. And I go, not now. Because I know my brain, it's just not going to work now.
But.
Yeah. And I make excuses. And he says, never mind, let's just get it done. And I said, well, I'll do it.
Let's go.
I'll do it in the morning. You do it at night and we'll come together and figure it out. And I realized that him and we just don't align when it comes to energy and scheduling. So I have to work on my schedule and he works on his schedule because he's not the one that's up working at 7 a.m. I'm up earlier than 7 a.m.
But I do stay up late. That's the difference.
That's what I mean.
And this is exactly what it is. Sometimes you need to don't be too rigid. You have to be flexible with your schedule, understanding that people have different energy. I know Tammy, when it comes to the evening, even after 8 o'clock, her energy goes down big time. For me, I can go crazy. And so these are things that, again, even as couple, you have to also understand and negotiate. And sometimes it's just no time. You have no choice. But that is something
sometimes you have no choice. He's right. You got to get something done because there's something you need to do productive.
Yeah, be flexible. Don't be a drill sergeant. Understand that, life, things happens and you need to work around them. But the key is for you to have a strategy when it comes to managing your time. And folks, your time matters. You can never get back. You can always make more money. You can always make more money. But once the time is done, it is done. You cannot go back 10 years ago. It's over. You just gained 10 years in your life, and it shows in your face. It shows in your everything. You can't go back. It's over. It's done. But money, you can always make $10,000 more, but you can't get 10 years. So always understand that your time is important and valuable, and you have to cherish that. And you know, it may seem like we're trying to cram your calendar. That's not it. The key is you need to manage your time and organize. And at the beginning, it may start being a little bit chaotic until you get into new habits, and things will get better. And then you'll find that some of those new habits are actually going to help you gear towards your goals. And one thing, and as you start getting those results, then it solidifies. So back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, you'll find out that you'll end up being so productive in a shorter period of time, and you'll have more time. And this is when you're going to be able to play and adjust your schedules. So as you get to know your energy levels and your scheduling, and you know what you need to do to accomplish your specific goal. So when are you at your best? So I'm at my best in the morning. I mean, I'm really at my best after I work out. So those are my income producing activity time, is when I do this stuff. So when is your time off? You want to write that down. The time's off when your energy is lower. You might need that little break in the day if you're full-timers doing this like we are. Some of you are just working part-time, maybe 5 hours, 10 hours a week. You know, figure that out, that your best, put the time in building your business on your best energy time. Okay. And you want to set boundaries. That's a big thing. And it's hard for ladies because we always want to serve. Maybe some guys are the same, but ladies, it's hard for us to say no, but you do have to set your boundaries, because so many people will take your time and your energy. So many people, and you have to let them know you're focused. You're on a 90-day run. You have some big goals you want to accomplish. Hey, listen, let's reconnect after 90 days, because I'll need somebody to celebrate with me, and you know, things like that. And then you may even turn around and they go, well, what are you doing for 90 days? You never know, right? But these are things you want to do with the people around you. And then honor those boundaries. No is no. And you got to stay focused on what you need to focus on, unless, of course, it's an emergency. There's always space for true emergencies, right? And then you want to test and evaluate constantly. All right. And this was just...
You know what, Tammy? Once we're done our 90-day run, we were talking about how we're going for a cruise for a week. Yeah. That's when we're going to do it. Right in the beginning of April. Okay, back to you.
That or Costa Rica. Yeah, one or the other. So, so action plan. This is just kind of a written example that I saw. I screenshot it. So this is 5 a.m. study. And then, of course, meditation, 5:30. And then content creation. Somebody's creating content. They work out at 7:30. And then there's nothing from 8 to 8:30. And then they do their Facebook Live at 9. So that's kind of a little example. I'll show you what I put together, but I still have to throw my social media in mine, which are my income producing activities. So the more action you take, the higher the probability, for sure. So don't be perfect. That's the most important message. Don't be perfect. It's the lowest level of performance in the world.
Big time.
Nobody's looking for perfection. As a matter of fact, on social media, specifically social media, they want raw, they want homegrown, they don't want fancy anything. They want you to come in and do a movement and go out, especially TikTok. If you're not moving on TikTok, you're gone within a couple seconds. They like movement in this platform. So understand the platforms too. I think that's really important. I think it's really important, Chris, that we have some sessions done on every single platform to have an understanding. I know, Sylvie, you're great at training at that, and I know some other associates are as well. So we'll get some of those sessions in early in the year. And just be awesome. Just go out and do it. Don't even think about it, because obviously you want to be planned. You want to work on your content and do it. Get out of your head, because we all do it, especially women. We're the worst. Oh, my hair, my this, my that. And don't make excuses. Do you know how many apps that are out there that can fix lighting, that can do all of this stuff? You know, if you have a bad picture, sometimes you just don't have the right light. You just happen to be there. So, you know, there's apps that fix all of this stuff today. So don't worry about stuff like that. Just get it done. You can fix things up, and you can post it if the lighting's not good. So just have an attitude of gratitude. Just perform at the best level you can. Just go out there and perform at that best level, and just be proud of yourself that you're moving forward in your year. And I know we haven't started yet, but I know every one of you, we know all of you personally, and we know that you all want to have a better year. And that's why I said to Chris, this session, although calendaring for me personally is boring, it's a necessity. It has to be done. It has to be laid out. You have to follow the plan. And I can think of one person on this session with us tonight that is a master at this, and Lucy Caron. I don't know anybody like Lucy that can nail down a calendar like this woman. The stuff that she has, the organization skills that she has is amazing. So yeah, so she's probably looking at this going, I already have it done. So yeah, so mindset around the wild card time is time priority. Block out all, no negotiable. You want to book everything, every appointment you have, from dentist to emergency to, well, sometimes emergency you can't put in there, but you might know something that's coming up that you have to rearrange a schedule to just adjust. You can adjust easily. And the job, the time that you're working, the time that you're commuting, yeah, all of that stuff.
You know what, Tammy, I bet you that Linda Coffin, as a banker, she probably like super organized, I would bet you. Just speaking at you, back at you, Tammy.
So the most important thing, the top priority, is self-care, in my opinion. So make sure that that is in your schedule. You need to take those moments that you need to get out of your head and go do what you do to take care of you. Okay, so for me, my self-care is after this session. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do something, maybe lay in there. We have in Florida, we have a massage, the big chair, the big one. I might just go lay down there for an hour. So
you tell me, it was not a bad purchase, right?
No. Number two, the second most important thing is income producing activities. That's got to be high on your schedule if you're serious about getting to high ranks. Like if you have, for example, let's say you're an associate and you want to get to bronze, you don't have to have an intensive schedule. But if you want to do it in 90 days, yeah, serious, right? So you got to decide how you want to spread out your goals and how much activity you want to put into it. And then 3 is your admin part. That's everything else. So you have to have some admin in your schedules. And as I mentioned, of course, your admin is your social media, your scheduling, your emails, things like that. So.
Oops, excuse me.
Yeah. I think we're done, Chris.
Yeah, that was last.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one. There's balance. There is none when there is a season of growth. no balance now. Okay, so now, for example, I'm going to show you, Chris, if I can screen share my schedule. I'm just putting today.
Hey, Jonathan. Nice to see you.
I got a few of my schedules out. So you guys see January 2nd?
Yeah, we can see that, Tammy.
You see my schedule? I know it's small, so I know you can make it bigger too, but I didn't. So for me, 5:45 is my get up in the morning, and so that time is my meditation time and gratitude, and then I go into reading, and I get my supplements and my water. I always have a big thing of water and make sure that I drink at least 2 of these a day. So I'm almost done my second one. And so I try and get 3 full glasses of water done first thing in the morning with my supplements. And then I go into my 7 a.m. with the accountability group, 7 to 7:30. And then I take a little break, and then I get ready to go to the gym. And then I go right in from 9 to 12 is income producing activities. And some of our income producing activities has to do with teams, working with our teams. So for those of you who are specifically working with team members, you'll be adding stuff like that in there. And then of course my lunch and my dinner is in there, and we have coaching in there. I went back to my income producing activities after lunch, and you can see I have my little breaks. They're small, but these are my little breaks that I just get up and walk out of the office. Accelerator with Fraser. And then we have today I had another acceleration coaching with another course. And then, so you can see my energy time is my green. You notice my green? Here I did some work. So I was forcing myself to energy in these times. And my wrap up time is here. This is when I have my low energy day. So when I'm scheduling, that's my low energy day, and I'm done at this time. And when it comes to work, it's like, I don't want to work. But because it's a 90-day drive, I'm going to put some efforts in 90 days, which means I'm going to have to push myself to do more things, especially starting tomorrow. So today was kind of a wrap up of getting used to the routine.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to share with you and stuff that I was.
Yeah. So if you want to stop your share time, perfect. Excellent. Okay. So we're going to wrap this up here, guys. And it's very important that you understand, obviously our schedule may be different from your schedule. Remember, not everybody wants to make $100,000 a month, right? For you, maybe it's $10,000 a month, or $15,000 a month, or $20,000. Maybe you just want an extra $3,000 a month, whatever that is for you. And of course, that will impact your schedule. So don't get overwhelmed by someone else's schedule because they're aiming for $1.4 million a year. So the fact is you have to measure what your goals are. And that's why it's very important not to compare yourself with others, because your goals may be different. Your priorities may be different. You might have done things for king and country, and now you're done. You just don't want to anymore. You have lots, right? But you'd like to maybe, entertain different parts of your life, and, whatever that is for you. And what's important here is, to kind of summarize this whole thing, is do an inventory of your life. It is important. It is annoying, but it is important. And as you're doing that, go through the questions that Tammy shared earlier as to how to sort through some of the things that you do on a daily basis. And do they matter to you? Is it important to you? It's not about what I think or what Tammy think or anybody else think. It's, does it matter to you? If it makes you happy and gives you that sense of joy, then yes. And that's what you need to do. And that's really what the call is all about this evening. And Tammy and I are very, very excited for 2023. We look forward to the future. And folks, don't get distracted by the white noise. I'm telling you, the news, the media, all the, excuse me the expression I'm about to say, but all the shit, all the stuff that goes on, don't get wrapped up into that. You don't have time for this. They're not going to affect your life in any way, shape, or form. And I hope you don't mind my colorful wording here. The fact here is you matter. You are important. There are some people that will make a fortune this year. Why? It's because they're focusing their energy and time in the areas that are going to be productive financially to grow. Max International has a very important product. It is our Celgivity. Yes, I do understand there are some products that are in back order. Don't get stuck there. Don't get wrapped up there. Focus on the Celgivity, for example. We're dealing with a compromised immune system. We know there's issues going on, but don't get stuck in those issues and wait for those issues to go away for you to move forward, because you'll never move forward, I'm telling you. There will always be issues. And I'm telling you, 2-3 years from now, some new people will come in and all of this stuff will be a thing in the past and they won't know and they'll succeed. So don't lose sight of the goal. We have something important. We have a good message focused on that. Prioritize your life and participate into the activities. And last thing I want to mention, I ask you for a call for an assignment tonight. I hope that you're going to do this. I'll be monitoring your pages and post an image of yourself. Doesn't have to be, pick something maybe you've done, a nice picture for Christmas or whatever, something when the picture you like. Post that picture and write your message on how 2023 will be for you this year. That is on a positive aspect, whatever that is for you, and share it. Don't wait till tomorrow. You won't do it. That's my recommendation.
On any platform. Yeah, it doesn't have to be Facebook. If you're a person that doesn't work on Facebook,
LinkedIn,
make sure that
Facebook, Pinterest, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Okay, guys, listen, have yourself a wonderful evening and rest of your evening. Thank you for attending. I know today was considered as a holiday because the New Year's Day was actually on a Sunday. But like Eric Worre said, you know what? We're starting today, and starting today, we're starting today. So thank you very much for attending. I appreciate your commitment, guys, and really appreciate it be part of your lives. And thank you for trusting us with that. And we really, really want to help you this year, as we have done in the past years, but we're evolving and learning. So we look forward to share all that with you. So everybody have yourself a wonderful evening. And again, thank you for attending, and we'll talk to you on our next calls. And bye for now. Happy New Year.
Have an awesome week.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Night.